Welcome back to Reb Yankele's podcast. Our good nerve Shabbos Parshas Toldos. What a parsha this week! But one incredible thing we have to understand, we see in the Parshas Shavua, Yitzchak wants to give the brachas to Esav. Yitzchak seems to want to extend Esav's koyach in this world. He likes Esav, he appreciates Esav, and on the other hand we have Rivka Imenu that says no, absolutely not. By any means necessary, we have to get the brachas to Yaakov. So the Panavish Rav said two ideas. The first one, he said, Rivka Imenu understood what Yitzchak intended. Yitzchak understood, Im ein kemach ein Torah. If there's no panasa, there could be no Torah. Just like Yisachar and Zevulun, one was providing the sustenance to survive in this world, and one was learning Torah. And Yitzchak saw how Esav is working so hard to provide with food. So he said, obviously this is going to be the case, so I have to give the brachas to Esav. He will therefore have the parnasa and provide that parnasa to Yaakov. So Rivka Imenu said, I understand the theory, but it won't work. You see, if there is another middleman between the bracha and Yaakov, by the time the parnasa gets to Yaakov, there won't be much left. But the Panavish Rav said, there is an even deeper idea. The Panavish Rav said, Rivka Imenu understood that in order for Esav to provide for Yaakov, he would need incredible schusim. He would need an incredible schus to be able to be the one who provides parnasa for the Talmud Chacham, who provides parnasa for Torah, for yeshivas. Reb Yankele says, there was one time a story where he was looking for a fellow who said, I am looking to donate a new building. I'm looking to donate an entire building for my name. It should be there for eternity. And he had incredible hardship finding this fellow. Every single time he tried, there was a different obstacle. And he didn't find him. Finally, in the end, he was leaving back to Eretz Yisrael, and on the flight, of course, in the seat next to him is that fellow. And he says to that fellow, I've been looking for you. I have an opportunity for you to donate a building for yeshiva that will eternally have your name. And this fellow said, oh, so unfortunate, what a shame. I already donated the money that I promised to a building in Tel Aviv, very, very far from Torah. Of course, he was not zoiche to be able to support Torah. Reb David Greineman once went into the Chazon Ish and he asked him, why is it that so many times when I visit people and try to give them the chance, the opportunity for them to give tzedakah, to be supportive of Torah, they tell me, come back tomorrow. And the Chazon Ish said, it's so obvious. They weren't zoiche yet. They need another krishma shel arvis shel shachris. They need another mincha, ma'ariv, shachris. They need a few more mitzvos to reach a level where they will be zoiche, to be in a position to support Torah. Rivka Imenu said, I understand, Yitzchak, you want Esav to be the one to receive the bracha so that he can then go and in turn support Yaakov. But he won't be zoiche to do so. I can see his actions, I can see his maisim. He won't be worthy of supporting Torah. So Rivka went and orchestrated the plan that Yitzchak Avinu should give the brachas directly to Yaakov. Maybe there is another thought that could be said. Yitzchak Avinu finds himself in a position that he has two children. He has an Esav, a Rasha, who spends his time between Avodah Zarah and hunting in the Midbariyos. And then he has a Yaakov Ish Tom. He has a Yaakov Avinu who is going to create a Klal Yisrael. He has a Yaakov Avinu who is going to be the father of 12 Shiftei Ka without any chisaron whatsoever. Yitzchak Avinu was at a level of a Oila Tamima. Yitzchak Avinu reached a level on the Akedah, he was so kadosh he could not even leave Eretz Yisrael. Yitzchak Avinu felt Yaakov Avinu will reach such a high level of Torah, he won't even feel anything in receiving brachas that are relevant to this world. He won't even have any opportunity to appreciate brachas that are relevant to Olam Hazeh. If anything, it will stand in his way. Esav, however, maybe if Yitzchak would give him the brachas, he would see the toiv that Hashem put in, even in Olam Hazeh, and maybe that would bring him back. Rivka Imenu, however, she could see. Rivka Imenu said, of course, when someone reaches a level of Yitzchak Avinu or Oila Tamima, who never even left Eretz Yisrael, 100%, there is absolutely no need for brachas that are relevant in Olam Hazeh. But Rivka Imenu said, I know that my son Yaakov and his kids and generations to come will have to live in a much, much shallower world. They will have to live in the neighborhood of Esav, of Lavan, and so forth. So Rivka Imenu said, of course, indeed, he does need to have these brachas. And we see, of course, that Yitzchak Avinu agreed. When Yitzchak Avinu understands at the end that Yaakov Avinu went through and followed through what his mother Rivka told him and bluffed his way in to receive the brachas, Yitzchak Avinu understood that Yaakov Avinu will have to live in a shallower world. Will have to live in a world where he's surrounded by Esav, by Lavan, and by the tzaras throughout the generations. And therefore said, Gam Baruch Yeh. Of course, we have to daven, and we have to remember, and we have to ask for the incredible toiv that Hashem gives us in this world. And we have to receive the brachas from Yitzchak. But we need to remember that the higher goal, the higher opportunity that Yitzchak has given us is to reach a point where we can live in a world of Oila Tamima. And they both can work hand in hand, as Rivka Imenu showed us. Thank you, and have a wonderful Shabbos.